I spent exactly 1 minute in the quadrant of the door, taking gunfire, exploring all my options for survival, of which playing dead was the only viable one, and praying to God that He would help me transition painlessly and hold my children tight.
It was powerful testimony at the Ohio State House today. The survivor of a Cincinnati mass shooting shared her story with lawmakers, pushing for them to support new gun legislation. That legislation is Senate Bill 357. State Senator Matt Dolan introduced it, and the goal is to keep guns out of the hands of those who could be dangerous to themselves or others. But in Ohio, passing any new gun restrictions could be an uphill battle.
I always have a lot of hope. I'm an eternal optimist. I survived 12 bullets.
Those 12 bullets could not kill Whitney Austin or her hope. But that's not to say things did not look grim on that September day in Cincinnati back in 2018.
I thought I was walking into work at Fifth Third Bank to do my job, and instead I walked into a mass shooting.
Austin would survive. 3 others would not. Her life was changed forever.
I survived 12 bullets, and that was the message I needed to start Whitney strong and to do what I could to prevent gun violence.
You may remember that mission brought her to Columbus roughly 1 year after her shooting and just months after the Dayton mass shooting.
It takes my breath away nearly every time I think about this.
She spoke at the big rollout of the Strong Ohio bill that was introduced with much fanfare but led nowhere.
It was really hard. I've had a lot of really difficult moments in this fight as we work to bring people, to bring them into the work, but nothing will ever be as difficult as what happened on September 6th. So I just pick myself up and go again. My name is Whitney Austin.
That's why she was back in Ohio on Tuesday to once again push for stronger laws against gun violence. This hearing was for Senate Bill 357, which would call for behavioral health assessments for those who could be a risk to themselves or others. It would bar those deemed a risk from buying future weapons, but not remove the ones they already have. State Senator Matt Dolan is the sponsor.
That if we can isolate that behavior, then my bill is simply saying, let's make sure that person doesn't get a gun. It's pretty simple. We don't want suicidal or homicidal people to have access to firearms.
Well, this was just the second hearing for the bill, but Governor DeWine is on board.
If we're going to stop these horrible tragedies in Columbus and across the state where you see a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old who gets shot by someone who has no business having a gun. They've already been told that they cannot have a gun because they've been convicted of a violent offense. We need to throw the book at them, and that's what our bill will do.
And for Austin, whose hope springs eternal, this is just another step in a battle she's determined to win.
So yeah, there are hard days, and I have to pick myself up again, but I have proof, I have evidence that we can do more, so keep pushing.
Whitney Austin points to this summer's bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which passed on a federal level, as proof that the parties can come together and make real change. A reminder, today's hearing was just for supporters. There will be a future hearing for opponents of the bill.